Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Bot. That's not Finn. This is the straightest this podcast has ever been. Get a seat, get a snack, and get ready as we present to you our last brain cells left.
Last brain cells left.
What's up, Luke?
That was really good. Oh,
I didn't bungle it.
you need like a theme song. Oh, I make music. I can make you a theme song. I didn't even think about this.
You know what?
I will put that on the list.
I hadn't even considered that too, as like a little lead in, lead out type
like a
thing.
little lead in thing, like nothing crazy, but just a little
you know what?
Honestly, I was listening to a podcast before this podcast.
Oh wow!
To get me into a podcast mood, I guess. And they have like some intro music, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So.
That is true. The one that I always listen to does have like a little bit of lead in music. Well, either like lead in or like a little bit of lead out music too for things. So you're not entirely. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad shout.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
I don't know, I've never considered it before.
I don't know, because it's also I'd have to figure out like what it would. This is just music person talking. I'd have to figure out like what would like fit the theme of you guys and like.
That is true. We're kind of eclectic.
Yeah, it would have to be like kind of scuff sounding, but it also would have to get you
yeah.
like excited to listen to the podcast. So, yeah,
I think scuffed is a good baseline. We are pretty fucked. If any recorded evidence of anything that Finn and I say is just, I mean, the peak of it is, but I would snort your ashes. That is like,
that's
the definitive line. It's like, holy shit.
I think I was sitting on a train when I was listening to that, and I was just like, the way I had to like not react. Oh my gosh! I'm like sitting next to this person. I'm like trying not to. Oh my gosh!
The podcast that I love the most is the Regulation podcast, and I was listening to. They do these like supplemental things where they did an over/under betting on Olympic gold medals per country, right? So basically, you get a country, and there's a statistic of their like projected like medal earnings. So you had to basically say if you're taking the over or the under on that country, right? And that's how they went down like the list of them.
Okay.
But like, when they got to Belgium, or no, when they got to Switzerland, or no. When he got to Germany. He was like, when I think Germany, I think of, high efficiency, high productivity, like the Swiss Army knife, clocks, things like that. And everyone's like, hold on a fucking second.
Yeah.
What do you mean the Swiss Army knife is German? And that was just like a whole like 10 minute of just them laughing and realizing. And I was sit on a fucking airplane between two random strangers because I was sitting in the middle seat, just trying not to like laugh my ass off as everyone's trying to sleep on this flight because it was late at night. So it's just me sandwiched between these two people, just going like.
No, exactly, and that's why
just trying not to die.
Because like you have Discord on your phone, and like sometimes I'll go in Discord and I'll see like we have our like group of people that come and like hang out most nights, and I'll see them online, and the nights where I'm like out and I see it, I'm like, do I just like join this? And then I'm like, I don't know if I can, because like if I'm sitting in this call,
so chaotic.
It's either I can't say anything, or like somebody's going to say something that's gonna have everybody in the room being like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, there's no way to make it sound normal outside of the context of Discord. Is just like a hive of that sounds insane out of context.
Well, and I think it's very freeing to have a space to do that.
Oh,
for
100%.
sure. Like it's
Absolutely.
like, oh, this is after like for me, I have a lot of meetings most days for work,
right?
I'm sitting in those meetings and I have to like remain professional even when people are saying like, oh, there's like 67 of this, and I'm just sitting there like moving my hands like it's so bad. No, it's actually crazy the things I do to like keep myself entertained.
Do you understand what that meme even means? Because I have no idea what that meme means. Holy shit, easy for me to say.
Okay, so the most, I can't believe we're talking about this. The most I know is that it's a TikTok thing.
Right. Well, I gathered that much. I just don't know what the actual meaning is.
Some of it actually came from like something that LaMelo Ball did because he's 6'7".
Really?
I think so. Or at least that was one portion of it. But I think the problem with TikTok is things get so like
diluted.
It evolves so quickly.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, it's just you kind of lose track of where things even originate.
That is
like,
true.
It's like the Kirby Air Riders clip you sent me. Like, it's like everybody's brain is moving at like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, where he's just like, run through the portals quickly. And it's like that one fucking scene from Doctor Strange where he's going through every possible timeline. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, like how quickly.
That game looks like it cooks, though. Low-key. Kirby Air Riders.
No, honestly, it looks incredibly fun.
Like,
yeah, I think there's definitely, like, it's got that charm to it.
It looks like the best racing game on the Nintendo Switch, too.
Yeah. I mean, well, Sonic Racing Crossroads is coming to Nintendo Switch too.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to talk about that.
I did put that on a Christmas list, actually. Because my family's like, well, it's become a tradition around the Thanksgiving time. Family be like, write down the shit you want and put it on the table and we'll talk about it. And, we'll pass it out to each other. And we're like, okay, sure. But now, because of the digital age, we started doing that all online with this, like, website called Elfster. And, like, my list is such, like, fucking boy list, dude. It's like, you know how there's, like, boy math, right? Mine is, like, 100% like, oh, yeah, a dude made this list. Hold on, let me pull this shit up.
You're going to pull it up? Oh, my gosh, yeah. So we typically just use mostly, like, Amazon. But since not everything is on Amazon, like, if you want to get something kind of, like, cool and unique, like Etsy or whatever, then you kind of have to... We just have, like, a Google Doc with, like, a bunch of different links and stuff. But
right. That also works. But my family's not as technically advanced, so they need easy big buttons that say view or go to link.
No, that's very fair. No, my family is the same way sometimes. Because I use that to organize it, but every once in a while, I'll just get, like, a question, and I'm like... Yeah, I'm like, is this a question? Like, is this a genuine, like, am I able to,
right.
like...
Do you actually not understand what's going on here, or is this...
Yeah. No, the worst part is that sometimes they'll take advantage of it and use it to, like, act like they don't know what's going on, and then they're like, no, I know how to do it. It's fine. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, so you are aware enough to do stuff like that, but then sometimes they actually don't know, and I've explained to them, I'm like, this dilutes, like, me trying to help you. You know what I mean? Dude, it's like... Yeah.
If I had a nickel every time I've had to explain something to my mother more than once, I could buy Amazon. Like, at sticker price. Like, no negotiation. I could walk in the door and plop a sack of fucking quarters on the floor and be like, I own this bitch.
Well, like, straight up. Because that wasn't even the Doofenshmirtz, like, I'd have whatever nickels. That was like, I'm buying Amazon.
No, I have a fucking sack of nickels, dude. It's not just two. It's way more than... I had two, like, at, like, by age, like, 4, dude. I swear to God. Anywho. Wow. So I pulled up the list. Eggy did add 3 of the most recent ones, right?
Okay.
So, which is also hilarious because the 3 that she added are a 22-ounce juicy watermelon Yankee candle, which is just, that's quintessentially
it's very on brand. Yeah.
She added a 3.8 liter tub of hand sanitizer. Because I don't like having greasy hands on my controllers. It just, like, bothers me. I don't like having greasy controllers. So, like, whenever she brings up these little bottles of, like, hand sanitizer, they don't last very long. You know?
Okay. And then you don't want to, like, get up to go wash your hands and all that. Yeah. So you just have, like, the hand sanitizer at the table.
I mean, I will, but... So she put
I'm not saying you don't wash your hands, but I'm just saying, like, when you're in the, like, you're chilling, then it's like, yeah.
So she put a 1-gallon tub of hand sanitizer on the list.
Oh my God, that is a lot of... What is it? What does the thing holding it even look like? Does it just look like a bigger version of, like, the normal one, or is it, like, a different shape?
It's like...
a gallon?
Picture, like a gallon of milk, but with a slap nozzle on the top of it that you get soap out of.
Okay, yeah.
So kind of like that.
I was wondering, because sometimes when they do those, like, value sizes or whatever, they literally will do it. It's like a drum, and I'm like, imagining just a drum of hand sanitizer. And I'm like,
I got this my dish soap right now. It's just this big ass fucking thing that I pick up and just, like, pour a little bit on pans.
Yeah.
And then also there's like a big rubber, like, carrot, like, chew toy for Anna. We also a bunch of stuff for Anna, like, on Eggy's list. So that's the stuff that she added, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let me get to the stuff that I added on my list, right? And I haven't done a lot of this. I was just like, let me just spend 20 minutes doing this and, like, see what the fuck my brain spits out, right? The first thing was a Cam Scattaboo jersey.
Nice.
Directly below that is Sap House Mead, because I tried their mead at Ren Fair once and I haven't found them, and I'm like, I finally found their website and they ship. I'm like, this stuff is fucking gas. So
right, we've got a
that would be
football
tight.
jersey and alcohol, and you weren't kidding about this now being the straightest podcast of all time. Continue.
No, it gets better. It gets better, right? Immediately after that, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Immediately after that, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Immediately after that, Sonic Crossworlds Racing. Immediately after that, Metal Gear Solid Delta. Immediately after that, Ghost of Yotei. Immediately after that, Borderlands 4. And I haven't added more yet. But I was like, I put all that shit there, and I like took a step back to organize. I'm like, this is such a fucking dude list.
Boy dinner.
Yeah, literally boy dinner, dude. Just fucking unseasoned hamburger meat and like some noodles you threw into a pot, dude.
That's so funny.
Oh, I just had to like look at it and be like, God damn it, dude, what the fuck? Like, it just had like that moment of self-awareness of like, what am
Why
I?
me?
Yeah. It's funny too that like Cam Scadaboo, this is the only time I've ever like actively asked for a football jersey in my life, I think. Because like before when I was a kid, like my dad got it and I'm just like, cool. But now I'm like, fuck yeah, Scadaboo.
Well, because he's a guy where even if his career lasts like 4 years, I'm like, and now we're talking about football. Welcome to Straightest Guy Podcast 2025. Yeah. But he's like a person where it's like he left such an impression that even if he somehow flames out and doesn't do anything the rest of his career, it's still a cool jersey to have.
Our buddy Austin put it so correctly: is he is going to be so much fun to watch until he isn't.
Yeah.
And it's just that dude, the way that man plays the sport is just, he is speed running, getting a concussion, and just like melting his brain.
No, it's crazy.
It's entertaining as fuck to watch, but like, it's barbaric.
Their celebration is literally like knocking helmets together. Like, you can't write that.
Oh yeah, that's how him and Jackson are. Like, say hello. They like headbutt each other affectionately, like fucking pit bulls. Like, why the fuck? Why do these guys communicate like walruses fighting over who's Beachmaster? Why is that how these two players communicate as human beings who are younger than us, by the way? Like, how is this how they communicate?
I have to say, one of my favorite, like probably my favorite sports edit of the year was the Giants. It was the edit from Madagascar when they went to Madagascar.
All hail the New York Giants!
The New York Giants, yeah. And then they just do like the TikTok of like all of them like doing dance moves and like, ridiculous stuff. I was like, that's pretty good.
It's always good when you get those fun, goofy ass edits like that.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's like I love the compilation of pivoting over to basketball for a second, where the New York Knicks have this thing where they have like a defensive player of the game, and they put in the locker room, they put a hard hat on them, and then hang like a pair of Timbs like tied together over their shoulders, right? Which is funny in and of itself, right? And everyone just kind of stands behind them. But what's great about it is usually you have like Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, or Mikal Bridges, or Josh Hart, or some mixture of those four people hiding behind everyone else. So you just see like one of their eyes poking through, or like the top of their head. It's like you barely see just like a little bit of them hiding behind everyone, like like they're under a bridge waiting to ask someone for 3 riddles. Like, it's just like, it's so funny that that's become a bit that just happens.
No, for sure. It's like, I don't know. I like gimmicks. I think it's just fun.
Me too.
It feels like it's like everybody gets in on the like inside joke, and it's like, oh, it's a fun time.
It is really, and I love how I've realized this year more than ever, professional sports are so fucking stupid and so goofy. It's so unserious.
It's a bunch of children, getting paid millions of dollars to play sports. It's like the craziest thing. Yeah, no, it's nuts.
It's like the heightened version of go fetch ball, but like with extra steps. Mm-hmm. And I love that.
For sure.
It's so funny.
Good times.
Good times indeed.
All right, I think we have to segue for the sake of other people because we can only talk about sports so much.
Yeah.
Because I can feel the retention just absolutely tanking. And yeah.
So what did you have a pivot to something?
Yeah, no, so there was this there was a like Japanese oriented state of play.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting because I was like, they've never done this before, and I was like, what are they gonna like? I think
off.
I think the point of it was they were trying to like do it for Japan, and then if anybody in the U.S. looked at it, it was just kind of like cool. I think that's
the vibe I got from it.
But I just thought it was interesting because it was new, and I think Am I right to say that Nintendo kind of pioneered the whole like direct thing?
No, I think that's absolutely fair. They were the first to really do like their own thing back in the era of like E3 and everything of that. This is also before Game Awards really popped off as what it is nowadays. And Nintendo's like, well, we have all these people want to know shit. Let's just do our own thing. Which, granted, Nintendo's always done their own thing first, anyways. But I think they really did. They were ahead of their time with doing the directs, because now it kind of feels like that's the status quo for what people do. Which is a good thing. I think it works out.
Yeah, because it's like, honestly, I very much dislike a lot of the business aspects of like the gaming industry in terms of like people getting laid off and the
absolutely.
Like, AI coming in and all these different things. Like,
dude,
Square just had like this really big layoff where they laid off a lot of people in America, and I was like, no, that's my comfort company in terms of the games they make.
Right.
I just felt bad for all those people because I would like go on Twitter and see like people that I was following, and they were like, yeah, you know, I'm not working there anymore, and it was my dream job. And I'm like, oh, that is like,
that sucks.
Brutal. But aside from all of that being frustrating, it is just interesting to see, because gaming is this like big growing industry. Like,
it's
what
ever changing.
Companies decide to do exactly, because it like changes so much. Like you said with like the Game Awards or like E3, and like it's like E3 is not a thing anymore, and the Game Awards are just kind of like new E3.
Yeah, but like more.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then it's like, how much do they lean into like the actual awards portion of it versus like how much of this is just like a big advertisement. Right. And it's kind of unique in its own way too, because in a way more people are there for the advertisements. Like, I think that might be the only thing that's like that. I can't really think of anything else. It's like the people that watch, like, I'm bringing it back to sports again. It's like the people that watch the Super Bowls for the Super Bowl for the commercials. You know what I mean? It's like the same deal where it's like, yeah, it's like, it's cool to see who wins the awards at the Game Awards, but it's way more about like, what are they going to announce? You know, like what's new, and you know.
Well, that's why I think it works, is because the whole event has kind of shifted focus from, because when it first started, it felt very much like, let's give awards to these people, and it's very like, it kind of felt like this corporate sponsored thing, right? Whereas nowadays, in the past like 5 years or so, since Jeff took over, really, because I know someone else was like spearheading it right before Jeff like took over, right?
I think before it got like really popular, yeah.
But like
it blew up like after he took over. Blew up as it became like new E3. What we were talking about.
The thing that I was thinking was, after Jeff took over and all that stuff, it kind of, the whole thing feels now more like a celebration of the gaming industry, and that's really like the main focus is celebration of this year in gaming. But it also just celebrates gaming in general by looking forward to what like how hyped is everybody when Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey stepped out on that stage and like, hey man, you guys like Telltale games, right? And everyone's like, huh? And then they announced Dispatch, and fucking Moist Critical is standing over a dude voiced by Aaron Paul going, you gonna finish those twinks? And everyone's like, what is this game? This looks amazing. And now it came out, and I low-key think it's gonna be a sneaky like Game of the Year nominee, because that game has been fucking everywhere.
I've seen it everywhere, yeah, and it seems like people really enjoy the story of it and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I mean, we have a personal experience because we get to go. Is it coming up on 2 years now? Because if the Game Awards had already happened, this is such a dumb way of explaining this. If the Game Awards had already happened this year, we would have went 2 years ago, right? Is that correct, or is it 3? I'm not sure.
It might be 3, dude.
Oh, I really hope it's not 3. That's upsetting. But anyway,
it could be 3.
Probably one of like my favorite, like the coolest memories ever was we got to go, and it was just a plan because I think it was like I think it was 3 because we were all really getting into.
It was 2 years ago. It was 2023.
Was it 2? Okay.
December 7th, 2023 is the picture I took of the stage.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was really cool being there, and I remember being upset because I guess in this way I am just filling in for Finn. I'm a big Square Enix enjoyer, big fan. Mm-hmm. So, one of the things that they do that's one of my favorites, because I really love music, is they do the orchestra.
The symphony.
For the Game of the Year nominees. Yeah. Which I've always thought that's so cool because they make this big medley, and now that I've gotten like better at music, I've like gone back and looked at it and been like, oh, that's how they make like all of those songs work together kind of thing.
Right. You can see how they string it together more now.
So we were going, and I was so bummed because I wanted to hear Final Fantasy 16 music.
Me fucking too.
And it didn't get nominated, and I was just like, dude,
I was also pissed that it didn't get nominated.
I was so upset. And then, but I was still excited because no matter what, it's like, this is the first time I've ever been to LA. I was like, there's a lot to do there. It was very fun. But the show itself, I was a little like, man, like the thing I really wanted to see isn't going to be there. Yeah. So then freaking Jeff, being Jeff, he just like waltzes out and is like, oh, by the way, Final Fantasy VII, that thing's coming out next year, and we got the orchestra, and they're going to play music anyway. And I literally just started crying. Like,
dude, you're like, this is the greatest fucking thing ever, dude.
I was like, oh my god. I am emotionally overwhelmed. The acoustics in there were absolutely terrible, by the way. So I had to go back and watch the video after. I was sitting there while other things were going on. Because we were the show went on after, but then I went on my phone and was like listening to it with like the quality of it because I wanted to hear what it sounded like.
Right.
And then I wasn't paying attention, and then they announced the Blade game.
Dude, yeah, you were like, I remember sitting there being like, is that fucking Blade? And I'm like, it is Blade. Oh my god.
I just remember looking down at my phone, and I can't remember if it was. I think it was you. You like tapped me, and I like looked up, and I just saw Blade in like big letters, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I was like, they're actually doing it.
Yeah, well I don't know.
That was also the year that
actually doing it, but
being there for because I didn't really have a big horse in that race, right? I was just like, yeah, this is cool, and there's a lot of cool stuff that year. Baldur's Gate won that year. That was the year Baldur's Gate won, I think.
Yeah, right? No, it totally was, and it absolutely deserved it. It like,
oh yeah.
I mean, I haven't even finished it, which is again, I need to finish that at some point. But
so good.
It's really fun. Yeah,
like that speech that Sven gave to was so good. But that was also when Monster Hunter Wilds got announced. Was at that show too, and I was like, oh my fucking god. I was freaking. It was like that's the kind of magic of the Game Awards is you can go in with a bunch of investment in like, oh, I hope this game wins, I hope this does this, but you can also be like, I'm just curious. Like last year when fucking the Resident Evil stuff got announced, and I was like, oh my fucking god, yes! It's like Resident Evil 9, let's go! Like just so pumped for Resident Evil 9.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know.
No, for sure. I was
it's so good
because. To kind of bring it back around because I just like doing this on your podcast apparently.
Yes.
Because I did that quite a bit the last time. I was listening to it back, which I don't know. Is that narcissistic to listen to myself on a podcast? I don't think it is. Maybe it is.
I mean, I technically do it every week, so I can't really complain.
Well, you have to do it. It's required to edit. That's different. I was just listening to it for the love of the game. But no, yeah. So I was talking about the like Japan oriented state of play, and of course like Square Enix is a Japanese company, so I'm messaging with Finn and I'm like, yep, get my clown makeup ready, and then Finn was like, there was a clip where they were like, we're gonna talk about Square Enix's beloved franchise Octopath Traveler, and then I sent the guy opening the fridge and looking all excited and then going away because I was just like, dude.
That gif is fucking timeless. That's such a good gif, dude.
No, it was, but it is funny because it's like those moments of like, I don't know. It sounds ridiculous because it's like in some ways you can just be like, yeah, it's just a game, but you do make these like memories with people and you like,
oh, absolutely.
Like 100%. I'm not gonna remember anything about that like Japanese state of play. Like it's gonna be in one ear out the other in like a couple weeks. But I'm forever gonna remember the Octopath Traveler with the fridge gif because it was just like, dude.
Well, it was like that guy. Remember when we first landed in LA and we were waiting for the Uber to pick us up, and we ended up talking to a guy who was sitting there also going to the Game Awards. And he was like, oh, yeah, dude, Alan Wake 2 is fucking great. You guys should play it. And we were asking him all these questions about it. And he was, I don't remember what, I think I got his Twitter. I don't remember any other form of contact we got of that guy. But just like at the airport, I remember talking to that dude at the airport about like, you know, Alan Wake 2 and like, oh, you don't have to play the first game. Just jump right into it. You don't have to, you know, just go for it. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is cool. And the people we sat behind were like indie devs. And they would like talk to them before the show started. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
it was just so cool being in that atmosphere around those people, you know? It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of indie devs, there's a demo for a game called Dinoblade on Steam.
Yeah, dude.
Please play it because, oh my gosh, I was like kind of blown away. I thought it was really cool. For context, there was a tweet like, it must have been like years ago, but
yeah.
It was a model rigging from like some animator of a Spinosaurus holding like basically a Buster Sword, like a big like, and just swinging it around and stuff. And everybody was like, "This is amazing! Make it into a game."
Yeah.
So then I had the like, you know, they had like a placeholder for it, like the Dinoblade demo that didn't even exist yet. And I wishlisted it on Steam, expecting like this might never happen, like because it was it started from kind of like just something on the internet, and like a month ago I got an email that was like an email from Steam that was something you've wishlisted is like now available, and I was like, what? And I looked and they were like, Dinoblade demo, it's out, and I was like, what? This is crazy.
The fact that it became a real thing is so based.
Yeah, no, so then, you know, I downloaded it, and we were in a call, and I was playing it, and I was just like, this is, like, incredibly fun. Like, I'm taking this seriously. Like, this isn't, like, ironic fun. This is, like, good fun. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
So, and the developer of it just seems really cool. I actually DM'd them and was like, hey, I make music. I would love to make music for Dinoblade. If you need any help with development, like, hit me up. If not, good luck with development because I love it.
Hell yeah. Did you ever get a response or no?
Not yet, no. Just waiting on it. Also, Twitter changed DMs. I don't know if you know.
I'm not aware.
It's a disaster. It's awful. It's like the worst thing.
Sounds like an average day for Twitter.
the interface of it is just so like
dog-ass.
Terrible. And maybe I'm just like chronically online and adverse to change. But like, dude, I opened it this morning and it actually was like, I'm disheartened. Like, I'm normally disheartened when I open Twitter, but I was disheartened like
for different
beyond
reasons.
that, because then I opened the DMs where I usually like I just message some people about like sports or games or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what did they do? I was like, oh no. They added this like encrypted messages thing where it's like you need like a passcode or something. So they have like unencrypted and encrypted messages, and I'm like, what do you need to encrypt messages on Twitter for? Like, I literally couldn't think of anything that it's like an actual use case other than for like nefarious things. You know what I mean? Like,
but also like people just post nefarious things on Twitter publicly, so why do you need encryption? For the
like, what are you hiding? Well, that's why I'm like, what are you hiding? Like, that's a little scary, you know?
That is true. That is true.
But it's weird because you literally, so you open DMs, right? I'm so glad I'm actually getting this rant off because it's been bothering me like all day. But it just says, like, when, you know how you're hovering over like an iMessage when you hover over something and it just says iMessage and like that, or for maybe for like Android or something, it says like send a message or something like that.
Yes.
It says unencrypted message on Twitter. Like, why does it have to clarify that I'm sending this into a group chat with people and it's not... like, what does encrypted even mean? I don't get it. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's a disaster. If you can avoid updating Twitter, because I was like, do I call it X? And I'm like, saying X aloud is like, ew. So...
It sounds like an NSFW site when you call it X.
Well, somebody also brought up that if you're saying it in the context of a conversation, it sounds like you could be saying like ex-girlfriend. So it doesn't even like...
Oh, yeah.
Like
grammatically, it's a little bit fucky.
It's like weird because it's not a normal word. So it's, I don't know. It's
a lot of dumb choices were made.
Not a fan of the functionality of Twitter in general, but especially now, like, why? You know, I feel like they're just trying to like... Agreed. Yeah. It's definitely an interesting case study of like everybody is really addicted to a social media app and the people that are in charge are just consistently trying to destroy it and they just can't because people like it too much.
Yes. The unstoppable force.
Yeah, literally.
God, I don't even know because the Dinoblade thing, because I originally saw it on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know where it could have started on TikTok for all we know. It's just funny how these things snowball. Like, I don't know if you've seen the sledding game. Have you seen that at all?
I think so.
It's just some dude who was like, hey man, made this little physics game about sledding downhill with your friends. And then it's just like Snowball's like, well, now you can roll a ball and make a snowman and you can go fishing and like other stuff. Mm-hmm. There's like a fucking roulette table you can gamble the money you earn by just like sledding around doing tricks on. Like, it's low-key fun. Like, they had a demo out and like, I don't remember what was going on, but there was a call of like, I want to say like 12 or so people just all playing the sledding game. Oh, and it was just like a vibe. And it's like, man, it's crazy to see how far this came. And now it's like, it's going to be on consoles. Like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like the dev announced that he's going to be on like Game Pass. Yeah. Which is like, that's fucking crazy. Good for that guy. It's like a little like project that he's charging like, I don't know, like a few bucks for. Like, good for him. You know?
For all the complaining I just did about the internet, one of the really cool things about it is when the snowball gets rolling on like a cool thing or something fun, and then it gets somebody like recognition or like, it's unfortunate because you also get the people that are constantly chasing after that. Act weird for the sake of it.
Yes.
But
I think you can always tell who is who.
Yeah. When somebody just authentically creates like an indie project or something like that and it gets like more recognition, like people see it and it's like, wow, that's like super cool. Yeah. It's a really fun thing. Like I've started to get a little more comfortable like posting links to my music and stuff just to like even send them to like my friends or anything just to be like whatever, but it's just a really cool feeling to know that like people out there, like you can create something and then it's like other people are like, wow, that's really cool, and it's like the best feeling in the world to know that like I can't even imagine how the people that make those huge games like Baldur's Gate or like one of the funniest examples is what's his face, the Daredevil guy that was in Expedition 33 and like didn't even realize what he was doing, and then everybody was like, Charlie Cox, and then everybody was like, oh, this is amazing, and he's like, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, so just things like that are incredibly cool, you know.
Reminded me of something. Speaking of that is true though, that the powers of the internet are both mysterious and upsetting all at the same time. It really is a unique beast that is
there's genuinely nothing like it. And I don't even remember if I said this the last time I was on your podcast, but I always wonder, I'm like, were we meant to hear the inner thoughts of like hundreds of thousands of people every day? I don't know if we were.
Probably not, but the world is definitely a lot different because of it.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. 110%. But I don't know if you
saw.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Let you go. Yeah.
No, you're good. This is saying Expedition 33 reminded me of this, right? Did you see that the Grammy Awards announced their nominees for Best Video Game Score and Soundtrack?
Mm-hmm. And 33 wasn't on it, right?
Yeah.
That was
the list is Sea of Sword, Star Wars Outlaws, Helldivers 2, Avatar Frontier of Pandora, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Where the fuck is Claire Obscure?
Yeah, man. I
how the fuck did Ubisoft Slop get on there? And I think Star Wars Outlaws is a fine game to play, but it doesn't deserve to be on that list.
Yeah, it's like I think I've kind of, because I'm taking classes right now to just learn the ins and outs of like music and games, and no matter what, I think I try to respect like the effort that goes into a soundtrack, because I think it's so huge for like a game. Because of course now it's what I do, so it's obviously the most important thing. But that's
correct.
That's how everybody thinks about work. But
yes, obviously.
But like I do think it's genuinely like a really big deal and has a big impact on the game. And it's just like, but it's still crazy to me that like, because that's true for Expedition 33, and Expedition 33 is like, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but it's very likely gonna either win Game of the Year or be like runner up. You know, like
it's at least nominated for sure.
It's up there no matter what. And a 100%. Big reason for that is because the soundtrack of it was just so good. Like,
oh yeah.
It's resonated with like a lot of people for sure. And in a way that, because everybody always compares it now to like the old turn-based RPGs. Mm-hmm. That's sort of everybody's claim, which I don't really think is accurate necessarily, but everybody's like, it's the modern, like, I'm just going to say Final Fantasy VII because that's the one that comes to mind for me. But like, it's the modern version of those RPGs. And the big thing about those RPGs that drew a lot of people in was like the music. So
definitely was a big contributing factor.
Yeah, especially just because of like the time of like, I don't know. I've kind of done like a deep dive on like because there are technological limitations back then too in terms of making music.
Yeah. I mean, that's why there were like 3 different art styles in the game because of the technical limitations, and they couldn't decide what they wanted to do with it.
No, exactly. Yeah, that game is like a Frankenstein's monster. But just in general, games back then like have had sort of limitations technology wise, and it was so cool because it was like, wow, they're using like music theory to like make these really cool sounding songs regardless of those limitations. Right. And it's like, I guess to bring it back to Expedition 33, it's like they're saying that's the modern version of it, and it's like no matter what, then that means that the soundtrack has to be like a very relevant and big portion of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I 100% agree.
It's just surprising, you know. It's like
it's super surprising. Well, it's probably because it's like my thing is it's the Grammys, and so they saw Star Wars and were like, "Oh yes, George Lucas music, we must nominate this." When it's like, it just kind of feels like generic George Lucas music, but not like, it's not. It doesn't have the same punch and feel that George Lucas's Star Wars music did. It just feels like general music that was like, it sounds like someone's like, we need to make a Star Wars game. Make music that sounds like this. Like that's kind of what it feels like for Jedi Outlaws.
Yeah,
Jedi,
so
Outlaws.
I kind of have like, I don't know if this is necessarily a unique take, but it's kind of like an interesting take based on what you were just saying. So I feel like there's this thing with like indie games versus AAA games where I think in a weird way it's almost like AAA games have gotten like too polished. Like they're almost polished to the point where they're not letting the people that make it like really just have fun and do goofy stuff.
Right. There's less freedom for creativity and more expectations to be met, I think. There's more pressure to create a product more so than freedom to create an art piece, I think, is the differential.
That's a good way to put it, because and again, this is kind of tied to like Expedition 33, because Expedition 33 is like an indie game, like it plays like an indie game. And what I mean by that is like there's parts where like if you jump off a cliffside and you land on top of a building, your character does the thing where they're like holding their arms up and then they like float off the side of the building and then fall back onto the ground. Like there's kind of a level of like they polished it well, but there's enough like it's rough enough around it's rough enough around the edges where it's noticeable, right?
Yeah.
And there's another component of Expedition 33 where there's these like secret islands that you can go to. And when you get there, the music is like weird. It's like, what is going on? It's like this like upbeat, like catchy tune that's kind of different from the entire rest of the game.
Right. It feels dissonant.
And I remember not even just dissonant, but just like completely off. Like it's almost more optimistic than dissonant. Like it's okay. And yeah, I might not have presented that perfectly, but the reason why is because it's random only up courses that they just put in the game.
Oh yeah,
you're like you're parkouring like, and I'm like that would, and they really have the only up style where it's like they just randomly have like assets everywhere and like things are floating and like it's like nobody cares, you know? It's like but
it's fun.
It's so fun and it's like unique and it's kind of what a lot of games in the past I think had, you know what I mean? Because it was just developers being like, we're here to have fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
I think that's what made Baldur's Gate stand out when it came out, because it had the like production of like a big studio, but it still had the creative freedom to be like, let's just try this random thing and see what happens, you know?
Yeah, it's got so much, that game's got like so much depth that it's almost like, and so much put into it that it's almost like it's got both. It's got like the AAA polish and the like freedom of like, just jank. See what happens when you do that. Yeah.
I love using the term jankiness. It's such a great term.
Because it checks out, and it's why like the games industry itself is kind of unique. Like I feel like with movies, with like TV, a lot of different stuff, it's like there's this level of like
there's a
formality almost. Yeah, and there's sort of this like, well, we have to keep this like professionalism about how we're creating it because that's what we think people want. But I feel like sometimes with the games industry, you just get stuff like Peak or like the sledding game. Yeah. And it's just like, this takes basically all conventional rules about like standard, very popular games. Media. Yeah, or traditional media, and it's just like, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. And it's fun, and people love it. You know what I mean? So
100%.
It's just interesting.
It is such a unique beast in that way, where it allows the small man to create something and be right up there with the massive multi-million-dollar company. Like, look at Balatro, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that was a dude, and it got nominated up there with, like, all these huge hitter, like, massive budget games.
Yeah, that game is, like... It's funny, I still play that game sometimes. That game is just, like, exceptional. It's, like, so well thought out. And you can tell, honestly, that it's from the mind of some, like... nerd that just loves like either poker or like math in general.
Yes,
like
100%.
It's like every single little piece of the game is like, yeah, like you need to be like, think about this and be like, how would this card interact with this card, and how would like
you have to be in the soup.
You are consistently in the soup in that game at all times. That's why I like it. It's like,
it's so good for that.
Because it's like, it's the best kind of strategy game where it's almost like it's a roguelike, and you have to think about literally every little decision you make. It's so great for that. Like, it's like, do I re-roll again? Like, do I buy this? Do I like save on this? Do I switch around where things are? Like, there's so much you can do, and it's just like, it doesn't get old because it's, in a way, it's like literally, I mean, you kind of eventually figure out that like there's certain cards that are like better for the end game or like stuff like that.
There's a flow to it that you find. Yeah,
there's rules to the game, but the way you get there and the way things work together is just always unique. So it's like really fun.
Correct.
You know,
that's why I really love the Binding of Isaac, because it's basically that, but instead of it being like the numbers and strategy, it's the like gameplay, like spacing and awareness, and like the skill challenge aspect of like getting good at the actual gameplay of it. But also you have the item pool, like, well, this item synergizes with this other item, or if I take this, it will break the synergy I have going. Is it worth it if that's a really good item? Like, there's the trade-off where it's like, what kind of run do I want to have? What kind of ending am I going for on the specific run? Because each, you know, you have characters and you want to do different, like, complete each ending with each character to like complete off like the check marks to like fully 100% of the game, which is this huge thing. And Edmund McMillen is he's insane, dude. He there's a new game coming out that is it's a roguelike game. Well, it's a big roguelike. It's fucking Ed McMillan. The dude who made the Binding of Isaac making a roguelike, crazy. He also made platformers. Yeah. That guy made Super Meat Boy. Let's not forget that. I didn't even
know that's the same person. That's crazy.
It is. Edmund McMillan is Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy, and then a third one that was also pretty big that I can't remember right at this very moment. But he's releasing a new game called Mugenics, right?
Okay.
Where, like, you basically have cats, and then they live in this house, and then these cats just, like, will by chance breed, and they get, like, traits. And it's, like, it's kind of like this weird, like, roguelike with, like, D&D elements, but, like, the, like, grid-based combat of, like, Fire Emblem, kind of.
Oh, like kind of like weird, tactics, kind of like gridded. Okay, weird.
But it's a roguelike revolving around cats that like will live in this house and will like breed and make kittens, and then you send them on adventures, and then they like once they go on adventures, they're like retired, so you can't send them on adventures anymore. So you have to like send them other people. You can like upgrade them. It's like it's not out yet, and I haven't been following the development super closely up until like pretty much like last week, really. But it looks like super fucking cool, and I can see myself playing. I think it's a game that I'm gonna stream the fuck out of when it comes out, because I already love streaming Binding of Isaac a lot, because that game is just like, you know, infinite roguelike machine. It's just super fun and like super tight and rewarding to play. But this game, it already seems like there's so much soup going on, where it's like you said, where you just like have to be in the soup and just know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
it's so cool. I love shit like that.
The streaming thing is so interesting. Because I've like tried streaming in the past, and I generally really like story-driven games, because, which is why I want to play Dispatch at some point, because
you're gonna love it.
Ooh, I'm excited. But and it's like Telltale like level of like choose what happens, I think, and there's like a lot of different like endings and all that. So that's like all that good stuff. I'll be like on YouTube watching like every ending after the
choice
game
paths
ends and stuff. Like
you can have multiple
time.
saves. I've seen. I looked into it. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But you can have like multiple save slots.
So the interesting thing is because it's a story-driven game. Hypothetically, like whatever I would be streaming, it's kind of a struggle to like enjoy that because the thing about the story that always keeps me going is wanting to know what happens next and knowing I have to set up stream every time I want to know what happens next felt like such like a monumental like okay well now I have to get my setup ready do this like and it started to kind of feel like work instead of just enjoying the story.
I get that.
But what you were explaining this stuff like the
but
fourth grade humor oh jeez all right but I can't deny that's what I was doing so I'll hand up that's me so when you've got a roguelike or something that is just like repeated game loop like Slay the Spire like things like that I kind of like not like killing time games because that almost sounds like
reductive
but it's not reductive. It's like something that is like occupying your mind while you have the opportunity to maybe like interact with chat and do other stuff like that seems way more in my
intuitive
wheelhouse at least. Like it fits more in my head as like the streaming kind of like it makes sense, you know what I mean? And it kind of works that way with music too because in a way music is like it's got all of those choices in the roguelike fashion. So it's like, I probably wouldn't finish music I make on stream, but I would start it for sure. Because it's like, finishing it is all of the intricate, like almost like the story game where it's like, you're like, I want to pick out like specifically what I want to do and do this and that and like get back to it and really get it done. But starting is like so open. Yeah. Making music is like playing Balatro or Binding of Isaac. There you go.
Well, you're making your own narrative with numbers. And
effectively. It's stuff, like it's an interesting way of like I don't know why I'm bridging this gap in this way, but it's like I think you're picking up what I'm putting down at least somewhat.
Yeah, I think you're articulating well what you're trying to say. I'm understanding. Well, that's why I love like crazy stupid shit in music, like Tool. And like
for sure.
Their sheet music is disgusting to look at for someone who like knows how to read sheet music. It's fucking filthy, dude.
It is abhorrent.
I forced you to look at the sheet music for Numa before, right?
Yeah, that was a conversation we had when I was looking at sheet music for something else, and you were like, "Here's Tool," and I was like, I was like,
I'm like, find the downbeat, shit ass.
Yeah, no, not happening.
Absolutely not happening.
But yeah, again, that's sort of the freedom of creativity that it's like those indie devs when making games get to take. It's like. And why, like, people complain about, like you said, the music sort of sounds like, oh, it's like Williams Orchestra, like, over and over and over again. You know what I mean? But...
I do.
It's like... So there is some truth to it, I think, in terms of, like... it is kind of generic, but also it's, like, you got to think about, like, well, what do the devs want and what suits this and blah, blah, blah. All that
right. There's a bigger picture at question.
Yeah.
And I just think because looking at a specific like huge money thing and this huge like fucking, for lack of a better term, like corporate endorsed thing that is the Grammys, it makes sense that Star Wars was nominated over this like, for lack of a better term, like internet darling.
No, that's fair.
Internet darling is a term that comes from the pro wrestling scene where people who wrestle on the independent scene and then go for it. This used to be more of a thing back in the day when WWE was like the biggest game in town, right? Where like someone would work on the independents and they were super talented and amazing and everyone loved them. But because like WWE forced every single wrestler to just bend and shape themselves to their system, like it's people would like fail in WWE and the higher ups and like at corporate WWE like, oh, this indie internet darling that all the internet people love, he actually sucks. Look, he couldn't do these things in our system. It's like, Well, yeah, because you forced him to fucking do shit he's not good at.
Do something else. Yeah, exactly.
Like, the whole fucking art of pro wrestling is you highlight your strengths and you highlight the things that you can do and your opponent can do really well, and you tell stories around that. You don't go, I hired a man who's basically an actor, and I'm going to force them to do this thing that I want them to do because I think it would be entertaining. Because
I think
that's how Vince McMahon ran his company, because he was a dumb fucking out-of-touch old man. I hope he rots in the pits of hell.
In general, for entertainment and creative things, I think it's better to fit out than fit in.
100%. 110%.
The unfortunate
and it sucked for
truth
wrestling
of it,
because people were forced to like fit in to like be actually financially successful in it, and thankfully that's not how the pro wrestling industry works anymore. But the video game industry, I think, now more than ever is rewarding fitting out at this time.
I hope so.
And
Yeah,
this
it
year.
seems that way. Because it's tough, because I think a lot of the reason that companies want to fit in is because they think that's what is more likely to bring success. Because it's like, oh, well, if I rip off Fortnite, then people are going to like my game like they like Fortnite. But there's kind of a misconception that comes with that, where it's like, well, that's true, but then what makes yours interesting enough where people are going to stop playing Fortnite and start playing what you're offering? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So it's like, in a way,
like, those games failed, like the Avengers game. I think it's like, oh, you're just trying to do like this live service thing that's been done before and just put like a special sticker on it. And it's like, people don't care, but companies are still like, but this is what we need to make, because I don't know, it feels so. I hate it when companies are like, we need to prioritize these things, and everyone online's like, who asked for this? Who wanted this? Who actually thinks this is a good idea? But companies will be like, this will make money, so this is what we want to do. And I'm not saying that no one's passionate about it, but like, it just seems like it's going against the grain of what people would actually want to see from some of those studios sometimes and IPs.
No, for sure. Well, because I think it requires a level of effort and like depth of thought to consider what people like about something, and then go like, okay, like, so we know this is what the fans want, right? So we can like completely go with that, which I think that's a good and a bad thing. I think it's also good to give devs some freedom to do what they want, but I think often the thing that happens with that sort of corporate structure is it ends up like kind of spitting in the face of like what people want, because it's sort of like the focus gets shifted more towards like, how do we make money, or people that like aren't in touch with like why people love the game in the first place, if it's like a sequel or whatever you want to call it. Like, then they're like, well, this is what people like about Fortnite. I don't know why I'm going back to Fortnite, but it's like if it's off, it's like you can just so easily tell.
It reeks of out of touch when it is.
Even from like trailers, like you can watch a trailer and almost from like the aim of the trailer, like it's like what they're trying to sell you. You can like, it will get people going like, oh no, like I don't think this is like right. You know what I mean? Like, because
100%.
It's a tough thing to explain, but I guess to sort of sum it all up, it's like, it's the balancing act of really trying to like fit out and do your own thing while also
appealing to the masses.
Like, kind of capturing that like lightning in the bottle of like that sledding game you were talking about, where it's like, no, I think this is kind of different, but I think people will really like it. You know what I mean?
100%. So, and I think, and again, being we love doing this bit like full circle moment, right? Where, Sven at the Game Awards, in his speech, I don't remember the exact quote, but he said something about working with passion and working under the mindset of it's done when it's done, and we don't need to crunch and meet deadlines and meet expectations and meet benchmarks in order to be successful. He just trusted that him and his team are going to work on this project and spend as much time as they deem necessary to finish that project to make it the perfect thing that they want it to be, and the money will sort itself out on the back end because their time and efforts will be rewarded. And that's like, I don't understand why that mindset doesn't exist more, because it was a proved success with Baldur's Gate, where they took their time, they let it cook, they did everything they wanted to do, and it was one of the most financially successful releases of that year, if not the most financially successful release of that year. You know?
Yeah.
Like the money came in and they were rewarded for it. Like it proved his point, and people were still like, yeah, I don't know, man. We got to crunch and release this game that's not finished, and then put it out for $60.
Yeah, it's like the fear of the new, because it's like putting in that time to dedicate, and I'm not saying it's justified. I'm saying I think this is why sometimes people that are thinking more about money than about creating, like, I don't know, whatever you want to, I don't know, this sounds like pretentious, but like a work of art kind of thing. They see new and they see time needed to like make it great kind of thing. And it's like, well, I don't know, because what if we put in all this time and then it's still not good, kind of, it's like, it's almost like that fear of failure prevents certain like execs from trusting the creatives, which is kind of a shame. But I think that's probably where that mindset comes from, I
think so. And I do wish that we were more like hands-on in that higher level stuff. I mean, it's not like we don't know it. Like I feel like Abby would love to weigh in this conversation. This feels like the kind of conversation she would be an expert at. And I love being proven wrong. Like, I love people explaining like, hey man, I hear what you're saying, but here's why you're wrong. I love that shit where people like, I see your opinion, but like, let's break this down a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that shit, because that's how people actually like learn and develop things and thoughts, and things get better and change and whatnot, right?
Yeah, but like, you don't learn much when you win.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so fucking good. That's so true, though.
It's very true. Yeah, it's just sort of like true. Well, because I always think about it, because I used to like, I'm talking about sports again. I'm sorry, guys.
Yep, another full circle moment.
Yeah, I used to play more sports when I was younger, and I would like pitch in baseball, and I was young enough where it was like I could just have like good control of a fastball and like pitch really well. So I would like strike out the side, get through a couple innings. Like, I was a really good pitcher in my league when I was younger.
Right.
But I never like adjusted anything. It was always like, oh, I'm just doing my thing. And then I started getting a little older, and I started getting shellacked, because it was like, oh, he's just throwing fastballs. Yeah. So
people figure out the one trick. Yeah.
Exactly. So then it's like, all right, like, let's go back to the drawing board and like do whatever, and like, all right, now I've got a change up and blah 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 blah. And it's sort of like you can apply this to anything if you don't even want to make this about sports. But 100%. It's like the failure or the sort of like resistance to like what you want is truly usually what ends up pushing you to being better.
Absolutely.
It's just interesting. I don't know, but yeah,
I think that's totally correct. That's a sentiment I wish more people knew and understood.
Oh, well, losing still sucks. I mean, I'm just going to
no one's saying losing's good. But I think that people get so wrapped up in the losing sucks feeling that they don't take a moment to like actually learn from it. And I think that's what separates like the greats and the standouts from the ordinary.
That you kind of, it's like, because it takes a lot of effort to kind of like lose and struggle, and instead of just hating that feeling and like not doing anything with it, to actually take that and be like, well, I'm gonna do this better instead. I had something like it was just some like friend stuff that came up, and I was like, it was kind of weighing on me. It's not anybody that actually. It was just sort of like a separate thing, and it was just weighing on me, and like I was not feeling great about it, and I was kind of like, what do I do about this? And I was like, so I was kind of doing the like losing feeling where I'm like sitting here and I'm like, I don't like the way things are right now. Like, this really sucks. Ugh, kind of, so
yep.
I sat with that for a little bit, and then was sort of like, well, wait, I'm going to do something. Like, I'm going to try to make this better. Like, what can I do? You know what I mean?
Right. How can we actually change this feeling?
Exactly. And then that's sort of like, I mean, I think the people that are the best at that are probably the people that end up getting shit done. It's like... So, yeah, I don't know why I just turned into like a motivational speaker for the past couple of minutes, but here we are. Go do things, yeah!
Yeah, be the person
play Forspoken! No, I'm just kidding.
They actually have been too, which is the funny part.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
You got an update?
I love that that's your like the Japanese fisher like in the water. Never surrender, never give up. Like, that's your version of it, is play Forspoken.
No, it was so funny because it's been sitting in my brain for like 20 minutes, and I was like, how do I segue into this? And I was like, wait, this is so funny. I'm doing it right now.
That's a funny turn, and I love that. That's so fucking good, dude. No, I think there's lessons to be learned literally everywhere in life, and I feel like some people are like, I'm out of school, I can no longer learn anything new, and I think that's fucking lame and boring.
Yeah. No, so one thing I definitely think I struggle with is like the perfectionism. Like it's like I want to give, because I don't like losing. Like and not even just about losing necessarily, but I don't think anybody likes feeling like bad or like not like uncomfortable or whatever you want to call it. So I think me and probably a lot of other people tend to avoid that by like being like, well, as long as I'm perfect, then I will never have to deal with those things. Which,
yes.
Newsflash, not true.
Doesn't work like
Doesn't
that.
Happen.
Yeah. Correct. That's called a fallacy, and it is not true.
Breaking. Bad things happen. So,
perfection is a fallacy. I think that's a truth of the world that people
for sure
don't accept.
Yeah. So it's been a very interesting learning process because it almost feels like making backwards progress. But the truth of the matter is, giving somewhere between like 80 to 90% is better than giving like 110. Because in a way, it's sort of like, even if you're opening yourself up to the idea of like, well, if I'm not like completely on myself about something, then yeah, maybe I'll screw something up. You know what I mean? But for people that are willing to like accept that and sort of be like,
be okay with the fuck ups, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I think that the extra 20% that you aren't spending like trying to be perfect or whatever is spent like learning from the mistakes and then being like,
and becoming better.
Exactly, yeah. Because in a weird way, it's almost like meta, because it's like if you're trying so hard to achieve something or be like perfect in some way, you kind of like lose track of what you actually need to do that. You know what I mean?
You become so clouded in the I must be good at this that you lose the focus of it.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, I'm gonna turn this into competitive esports conversation now, because there's a lot of like mental stuff that goes on with like
fighting.
Yeah, because I've gotten back into playing Smash.
Yeah.
And it's been really interesting to like challenge myself mentally because I'm washed.
Well, you've been so removed from like the loop of playing that game where you just became rusty with it.
No, for sure. And it was interesting because I had this sort of arc where like this is like super specific, but it's like I play Sephiroth in that game, and Sephiroth as like the meta or whatever has developed is kind of like not good. So it's sort of like like he is good, but it's like he's like not good where it's like you can really succeed with him. So I had this sort of like deflated, frustrated mentality coming back of like, well, I put all this time into him, like, and it's annoying that now it feels like it's like pointless, blah 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 blah. Like, so then I'm like trying other characters, and I'm going to like these like brackets online, and I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Like my hands are like shaking. Like I'm like, oh no, like this is like, I'm like
the
Omega
Russell
washed.
Wilson of
I didn't
Smash.
I didn't even remember what this is like. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I did terrible the first couple of times I came back. I was like, wow, this is like really bad. I'm like not even placing like my seeding. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I really might be like washed. I might like not like this. And again, that feeds into the whole like thing I was talking about, like the losing, where it was like, well, I'm kind of losing a lot. Like this is not a good feeling. I'm not happy right now. But it was sort of like, I had this moment where I was just like, I was on a call with one of my friends and we were talking, and he was like, well, what do you want to like do with it? Like, why are you even playing again? And then I was sort of like, why am I doing this? And I was like, well, part of it is because it's gotten me back in touch with some people I like used to talk to when I was playing more. So it's just a new avenue to like talk to people or whatever. But it's also just because it's like, I want to have fun and kind of like show off what I can do. And it was this like big roundabout way of realizing that I'm just like, I got to play my character. Even if it's like not ideal or even if it's whatever, it's like, I just got to do what I got to do. Right. And then because of that, I had my next bracket and then I got 25th out of like 180 people. and I was like on fire. It was like the best I had ever felt playing ever since I like stopped. So and I feel like all of it was just like completely dependent on like the thinking. You know what I mean? Like the mindset.
The mindset shifted and it became, not only did you enjoy it more, but you did better.
Right, because it kind of goes hand in hand. It's like when the more you're enjoying yourself doing something, and it's why I always am like telling everybody, I'm like, please, like even though money doesn't always support it, it's like try to do something you enjoy for work because it will make it so much easier.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
That's something that was my dad said when I was growing up. Like if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Which that's not true. Because work is work, and that's unfortunate. Yeah. Like
I understand the sentiment, but
yes, the sentiment is still very true. Like it's like that's where I was going with that. Like it's the sentiment is true, but it's like I don't know. I tried to work in sports, and I was like, oh, this means it will never feel like I'm working. It still felt like work,
right? Well, because it's less so, and that's something I've tried to find where it's like the difference in. Not so much because you love this one topic, it means that you have to work in that topic. It's not so much you like you say, like you love sports, so therefore you must work in sports and you'll never feel like you're working. But the thing that you loved about the sports is the fuckery and the gamesmanship and the competitiveness of it. It wasn't the analytics and the advertising and that stuff of it. That was like, oh, this is what I love about sports. But but a lot of people end up working there and I'm like, oh man, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's like, well, no, because you thought it would be like playing the sport, but that's not what you're doing. You're not playing it. You're just watching it with extra steps. You know?
Yeah, no, it was really fun to have the progression of like, I thought I wanted to work in sports, and then I realized the thing I like about sports is like the story behind it.
Yes,
so then I tried
narrative.
Writing because I was like, wait, I really like narratives. So I tried writing, and then I was like, okay, I kind of like writing. But what I really like is the emotion that comes from the storytelling, and then I was like, oh, music.
Yeah.
So
it's fun how shit like that works.
No, for sure.
And I think that's where the saying kind of loops back on itself, where you found the passion that you can actually do as work. Like the art, like the actual like creation of the music and the like you said, like writing. It's like the actually doing all of that stuff is the passion, and that also can be the work. So in that sense, you are technically working on music, but you're not actually. It doesn't feel like you're doing. It
doesn't feel like
because you're enjoying it, and I think that's where it kind of loops back into being a good phrase. You know?
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. Like I had something happen where it was like, I actually felt really bad about this, so I was like feeling incredibly guilty about it. But it was like I had because I'm taking classes right now to get like certified for game audio stuff, and I got so sucked into doing it that it was my mom, I was like, yeah, I'll call you in 5. And I started like looking at the work I had to do for my music class, and 2 hours went by.
Oh, jeez.
I felt so bad because my brain was actually just so sucked into it.
To actually like doing it?
To actually being like, well, now I have to like do it because my brain's like going. So then... I don't know. I think that for me was that moment of like, no, I really like this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. After I called and apologized to my mom.
Yeah, absolutely. Priorities.
Yeah, call your parents.
I do. I've spoken to my parents on the phone several times.
No, yeah, I wasn't calling you Ed. I was talking about everybody. Like,
yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you, and I'm reinforcing the sentiment.
Do I call podcast listeners chat? Is that fair? Chat?
I think we were calling them mitochondria, and it hasn't come up in a hot minute.
Okay. Yeah, the powerhouses. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me of the thing you always do with your... Do you still do that with your streams? Where you do be you because you're awesome?
Yeah, that's how I always on my streams, yeah. I haven't streamed in a hot minute because I fell into a loop of doing like school, like homework for classes and applying for jobs, and it became this thing where I felt like if I wasn't doing the job applications or if I wasn't doing schoolwork, I was like wasting my time by not doing it. So streaming fell into the category. It's like, well, if I'm streaming, I'm wasting these hours I could be applying to jobs or doing schoolwork. So then it just became that cycle, which I need to get back into it, and Eggy has bullied me about getting back into it. but I still do, I still do end all my shit with that. And that was a phrase that I was just thinking, because I was like, that was like from the very first stream I ever did, right? Where I was like, well, I want to end with something, and I wanted something that doesn't feel like, I mean, I guess it's a little corny, but like it doesn't feel super corny because it's just kind of how I feel, you know? But yeah, I wanted to bring back the like the classic YouTube, like all of the YouTubers had like an outro, right? Like everyone remembers Jacksepticeye had an outro, like Markiplier had like his like signature outro and intro that he would do. Same with PewDiePie, and like that was the vibe I was going for, was like, well, what's something that they would do, but with my own kind of unique sort of spin on it and how I sort of view and handle life in my own way, you know? So it was kind of like a marrying of the old that inspired me and the current that is me, you know?
For sure, no. It's, well, I always remember, was it Captain Sparkles, the Minecraft YouTuber?
Yeah.
He would hit the crispiest, thanks for watching at the end of the video. He'd be like, he'd like roll the T. I don't even know how he was doing it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, it was like, like it felt really solid.
I know what you mean.
And when I was younger, I would say you're welcome at the end of the video.
Hell yeah.
And it was so cool because he had his, like, it was like, I remember it was like, I was in like high school, and it was one of those things where I felt like I had kind of outgrown the content, but it was like a 10 million, he was still in my sub feed, and it was like the 10 million subscriber video or whatever, because he's just like blown up ridiculously. But I was like watching the video, and it was like this big tribute of like, because I guess his community had like sent something to him, and it was like this big tribute of like people watching the end of his video, and it was other people that would say you're welcome after he would say thanks for watching. And he was like, do you guys always say you're welcome? He's like, that's so nice. And I'm like, I do, Captain Sparkles. I say you're welcome.
That's so cool.
No, it was really neat. It's so fun when like things from just like years ago that you don't even think matter or like not that important, and then it just comes back around, and it's this very cool like, yeah, like that was like a thing for me, you know? It was like nice.
Yeah, that's cool. That is super cool. And that's one of those things where it's like a little minutia of the internet, where it's like this little thing that feels insignificant in the grander scale of things. But then when you actually like look under the microscope, you're like, oh wait, no, this is a thing.
I think that's like the fullest circle, because that's what we were talking about like right at the beginning. You encompassed everything.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're incredibly fucking right.
I have to keep in mind if we do this with Finn, or if this is just a you and me thing. I'm curious because
I don't know if Finn and I get as full circle as you and I end up doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we always just end up pontificating on like the grander message behind things, because that's just kind of what you and I talk about a lot of the time.
Our conversation is like juggling. It's like we're on the same wavelength, so we're just like throwing the ball up and like making a big circle. And I feel like your conversation with Finn is like tennis. You guys like go back and forth, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's either that or like fucking cricket, where like only a certain number of people understand the rules. I think the ball hits the ground, and then you just smack it in any direction because you're in the middle of this 360-degree field, and who the fuck knows where it's gonna go or what's gonna happen? And someone's running. I get okay, sure, like. Like that's what the conversation between Finn and I feel like is just a game of cricket, but explained by an American who doesn't know the rules.
That's so funny. I actually know the rules of cricket. I had to learn
really?
For,
was I even remotely close?
Yeah, I think you were about as close as like, because you know the point you were trying to make is that you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I think you hit that home. It was
yeah.
Yeah, because you know, honestly, I have to say, I know a lot of different sports. It's easily the most convoluted one, and it's one of those things where it's like I say I know the rules, I know like the basics. It's like somebody that like says they know football but doesn't actually know much about football. They just know
that's
like
me. I know
touchdown, end zone.
Yeah, I'm filthy casual is the term I like to use.
Yeah, but I don't know. For whatever reason, whenever I come on this podcast, I feel the need to advertise the podcast because I listen to it every week. Big fan, and I mean the tennis comment in like a good way, as in like it's that enjoyable, like you watch the back and forward and you like see how it develops, and it's like
what the fuck is this chaos gonna be this week?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be so honest.
What you guys are like?
The stream of consciousness is so strong that we'll finish recording and like 20 minutes will pass and I'll be like, what the fuck did we talk about? Like Eggy will get home from work on days where we're recording. She's like, so what was the topic today? And I'll have to stand there for a minute and be like, just like try to remember because it's just such stream of consciousness fucking chaos that I often forget what the fuck we even talked about.
You know what you guys are? You're the Pac-Man and DDD. The Japanese Pac-Man and DDD that post on Twitter and like have these crazy clips that everybody loves because it doesn't make any sense, but it's fun. That's what it is.
This podcast feels like when you show someone the Super Smash Bros. 64 combo contest for the first time. You're like, what's happening? Why are they using the N64? Oh my god, that was fucking sick. What just happened? I don't...
those combo contest videos are like...
They're so sick, dude!
It's
exactly
fun.
Exactly.
No, yeah. They're super cool.
If you're listening to this and you've never seen Super Smash Bros. 64 combo contest, look up the highlights right now and watch it. Specifically Prince. That guy fucks. Like
he does.
just watch it and just appreciate the sauce, and you're welcome.
And it's so cool because it's into a different realm. It almost reminds me of like I'm digging into like the far reaches of my like childhood random obsessions. But like
when you make like random games with your friends.
That and then like it's almost like the way that they handled it was like Monster Jam, where it's like contest. And they like show off and do cool things, and then they get like ranked based on it, almost like the X Games kind of. Like it's like
it's kind of like the dunk contest, but like with aura.
Yeah, and it's something about that form of competition where they've got like the scores and stuff makes it so fun because it's just like it's different from just like who has the most. I guess it still is who has the most score, but it's in a different way. It's more about
judged in a different way.
Showmanship. Yeah. Which it probably puts it more aligned with like wrestling in a way. You know?
Oh, absolutely. I think it definitely lines up with that. It feels weird to say it about a video game, but the closest thing I think of is creative athleticism. Where that's what pro wrestling is. It's creative athleticism. Where it's like it's basically like I'd explain it to someone. It's like if fighting was freeform jazz. Like, you know what I mean? Like if the UFC was freeform jazz, professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Which it does kind of have that feel to it where it's like, well, you're really good at playing this game and like you could probably play competitively and like compete on like I'm sure some of those people actually maybe do like compete in like the actual tournaments where they're like, you know, doing the 1v1s and that thing. But they're like, but I'm also really good at this combo thing, so like I'm gonna fuck around and have fun with that and see what I can cook. Like remember that one dude who like he fucking did it like he used 3 controllers and he like pushed a button with his foot? Or like a few years ago when the guy set up the thing where the Samus ball would hit him from across the screen and he had enough time to like shoot the Samus ball, hit the pause menu, slow the time down to like half, and then run and stand behind the judges to like watch in the crowd and like point at it. But it's like, dude, you did that, you know? Like that's so fucking clever and awesome and creative.
Yeah.
Like the dude juked out the production of the event. That's how creative it was.
Exactly.
You know?
No, it's like there's like just this element of like showmanship. And that was another thing I realized when I was talking about getting back into playing Smash. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like I play to win, obviously, like I want to win, but I also play to like make the people watching it like enjoy it.
Yeah, for
like
the
people. Like I like gambling. As in, like, I like taking chances and doing things that surprise people, and, like, I feel like that is what makes the game fun for me. And then getting to sort of 100%. Show that to other people and, like, make it a fun experience to be like, wow, somebody really just got to enjoy, like, watching me play. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I like holding on to that. And I think that is sort of what motivated me to get back into it and is like motivating me to like keep going with it, you know?
100%. Well, that's why I really like watching Street Fighter competitively, because at the highest level of Street Fighter, there's so much fucking sauce and just entertainment watching those guys play the game because of just how the nature of Street Fighter is built, where it's just like, this is super fucking cool to watch and these guys are really talented and it's awesome.
Yeah,
like,
no, and then
Smash
like,
doesn't necessarily exclusively reward that.
No, so. Definitely not. Yeah, but it's almost like people build up these like, you build up this like persona kind of, where it's like, I think I just made somebody like do the like look at the screen thing, like persona, but yeah, the brain rot, but it's like you build up this like image of like, this is the guy. He's like, when people embrace being villains, I think that's so fun. Like,
oh yeah, dude.
When people are willing
to be in his villain arc, that shit was goated.
The community doesn't like me, and I'm gonna like take advantage of that, and we're gonna like, there's gonna be showmanship, and it's gonna be like, it just makes it like a more fun experience for everybody. You know, I mean, obviously that can go down not great roads. If
yes, it can definitely get very slippery, but I would 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, and it perfectly aligns with everything you always talk about with like wrestling, where it's like that is the core of what it is. You know, it's like yeah.
I remember having to explain it to, I think it's my first girlfriend, where she's like, so wait, this person wants to get booed and wants to be hated? And I'm like, yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's success is measured on being hated. And then, like, explaining the, like, balance of, like, well, this person's a bad guy. That way, you know, the good guy looks better. And then you can build all these stories around it and you know, get into the big minutia of it. But it's just that classic story of, like, good versus bad. But it's just, like... how you tell that.
You definitely did a good job of giving me perspective on it, because I remember when I first like thought about it, I guess because the only experience I had was other people watching sports talking about it and just being like, it's fake, like, you know what I mean, because that's always the like go-to reductive argument, I guess. Yeah
that's how I can always tell no one's ever considered actually watching it or never actually sat down to give it a try, because it's like everyone in the building watching and enjoying it, no one fucking cares. We all know how we all know how the sausage is made. We like it more because of that. You're missing the point, you dickheads. You know?
No, it's true. No, so it was like to have that sort of nuance of like, and I tried to go into it with an open mind, and I had the opportunity. We got to go to freaking Omaha in the middle of a snowstorm. That's such a crazy story. Whenever I tell that story, I'm always like, that actually happened, huh?
It happened. Yeah, we drove from Iowa to Omaha in the middle of a blizzard. We saw like 5 tractor trailers like blown over onto their sides, like overturned trucks.
Oh, dude, it might have been more than that. Like, I felt like I lost count. It was like
there was at least 5. There might have been 6.
Yeah, it was at least. I'll give you at least 5, because I remember Colton I was just seeing it,
driving that Jeep, fighting the wind the whole time. I was just like
fighting for his life. I was like,
dude, nailed it, dude. He fucking chiefed that shit.
He did, no, for sure. He was but yeah, it was like I got to go there, and I was just sort of open-minded to the experience. I was sort of like, all right, what's this going to be like? And I was like, turns out, when you just sort of embrace it, pretty freaking fun. You know?
Yeah, dude. So. That's the whole thing with pro wrestling. It's just you got to suspend the disbelief and just have fun with what it is. Like, dude, we saw a motherfucker get dropped onto a bat with nails in it. One of the most insane things I've ever seen ever live.
And then he just like walked right past us with the nails in his back.
Dude, yeah, I don't know if you can. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. But like you in person, it looked way different. But like when he was walking by, you could see the holes in his back, and we were just like, ah.
There was one picture, I don't even know if we still have it, but it was you and me, and we were like near the front, and we were getting soft tacos. No, but we were we were in the front, and the guy's walking past us, and it was a picture, and it's like this just like yoked dude with this nail bat in his back, and I've just got the Home Alone face. Like, I'm like, oh my, like.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh god. I definitely have the picture because I was too fucking hell. Easy. What the? Did I just like reboot? What the hell happened to my brain? Yeah. No, mentally I just like flat tired. 2 of my previous coworkers were also huge pro wrestling fans, and so the 3 of us would we still have a group chat where we still talk about it to this day, and I don't work there anymore, but we still chat about it when stuff happens. But like while we were at the show, like I got a text from them he took a picture of the TV because you just see me standing there like right next to John Moxley, like shouting shit at him. You know,
that's so funny.
It was because he was watching the TV, and because I was like, "Hey, I'm there," and he's like, "Hey, there you are." You know,
that's awesome.
It was such a cool thing. So, but no, I love finding shit like that. It's such a unique beast that I really do encourage everyone to try. You know?
Yeah.
Because there's something in it for everyone, I think. Because it's not always just like the crazy barbed wire stuff where a dude has a spike bat with nails in it fucking stuck to his back. There's also like a dude called Orange Cassidy who literally wrestles with his hands in his pockets, and he's like the king of sloth style.
Yeah.
There's a guy in the independent
scene
called like, oh yeah, dude, Lucha's so fun to watch no matter what. It's just insane. The shit that they can do. It's like, holy shit, like that's a human being? Yeah. Or like, oh my god, I have to remember his name. There's a company that operates out of Canada, a really small company. And you probably heard me and Colton shout it when this guy called Evil Uno walked by, where I'm like, Uno, we love Mystery Wrestling. Because Mystery Wrestling is just like a little parody thing. They do such stupid shit all the time. Like, they had a ref match where two referees had a match against each other. Like, there was like funny. Man Scout versus a tent. And like, it was an actual like 5-minute match of this dude having a wrestling match with a tent. Like, my favorite character to come out of that is Totally Alive Jason Exile, where his whole gimmick is just, what if, like, I think he just watched Weekend at Bernie's and was like, what if that was a pro wrestler? So like, literally, he just sits there limp, he has goggles over his eyes, and he just gets carried out to the ring by like 2 other people and just placed there in the ring, and he just like lies there limply and does nothing for the entire match. And that's the character. And it's so fucking funny. And it can only work in that company. And it's hilarious.
Yeah. No, that's great.
It's so dumb, and I love it so much.
I guess another fun theme we can pull from this podcast is just fit out, do you? Because it seems like that's what people that succeed the most end up doing. You know?
Yeah, and if nothing else, you'll find your tribe of weird. You know?
Yeah. And your joy in doing so. So
yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. I think we kind of we really covered a lot of everything at this point.
Oh no, for sure. No, it was funny because I was like, okay, we're starting this talking about sports. I need to segue this some way, and then we got like super philosophical, and then we started talking about sports again, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, but that's why I love the stream of consciousness that this is. It's such a it's so fun.
I mean, no, it's very It somehow has a different vibe for when we're just hanging out on Discord, even though it's literally we are quite literally hanging out on Discord right now.
Yes.
But it's different. It's like, I don't know. It's interesting. You know?
Something about it hits different. I haven't quite nailed down what it is yet, and I don't know that I ever will, but it is something about the process of actually going to record and doing the thing hits different.
No, for sure.
So I enjoy it. Do you want to try to do your like parody version of Finn's outro? See if you remember it after listening to it all.
Oh,
if not, I can do it. But I'm curious to see your attempt.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Huh.
I'm gonna say, "Be you," because you're awesome.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah.
He stole my line.
I did.
You flipped the creativity back on me.
I did.
You did. I do still have to do the formal like promotional stuff.
Yeah, no, hit the promo now. I meant like, because I felt like that's not sufficient because like I stole it from you, so it's like, all right, I'll give that, and then clever. You can give the listen to the podcast. It rocks. It's really fun.
Yeah, this one that you're currently.
Yeah, do it again.
You did. I'm pretty sure this is how we ended it last time we did a collab.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I just think it's. But yeah. All right. Hit the music. Well, after you.
Yeah. Go on, say the line, Bart.
Say the line, do the thing.
For what is no, anyways, something wrong with me.
Oh, we are bungling this.
That's fine. We need a little bit of soup in our fucking diets. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, we have a YouTube where we have visuals. Ooh, edits. I add funny stuff. Ooh. Especially when fucking people tell me to put them in space with helmets upside down and do other random shit. Damn you, Wind.
We can't forget the edit of me teabagging you online over COVID.
That is true, yeah. You did, yeah. Well, if you want to see that edit, you can check out our Discord. Which, that's how you can suggest questions for Finn and I to talk about. And I feel like we do low-key answer some of the questions either unintentionally or intentionally, it just kind of works out that way. But either way, you can become a part of the process and become a part of the content and contribute. The most active text channel is just the one where it's counting, where we just every day, like, people will just send like a few gifs of just like increasing numbers. That channel's been popping off, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. We're at like 100 and something now. I don't remember what number we're at, but we're pretty deep into it. We're pretty far into the counting channel. I don't remember what number specifically we're on, but actually, I'm gonna find out right now. We're on 142. Yeah.
All right, well, let me get 143 in there. Hold on.
Hey, you heard it here first. Well, some of you saw it before you heard it, so now you know why it happened.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, if you want to become part of that, you join our Discord. All the links to everything I've mentioned is included down below. And I think that's pretty much it. There's usually a lack of structure to how Finn does this, respectfully, because it's just ADHD chaos. Ooh. So I guess we've been your last brain cells left, so yippee.
I do need to get you. Yeah, I do need to get you guys music. This is